There'll be good days and bad days, like the preacher said it would. All I ask is you will try loving me. All I ask is you will try loving me. 'Cause loving me ain't easy.
What's going on, and welcome to Black King's Free Game. It's your boy King Conda, the People's Champ, in the building. And on today, we have Miss Amanda Codwell. Oh my goodness, I said Codwell. Codwell on the show today. And she is running for CD1. That's Congressional District 1, for those that does not know. And we just got to welcome Miss Codwell to the show. Excuse me for messing that up.
No, it's good. Listen, there's a lot of L's in my name. Even sometimes I get a little nervous trying to say
Look, I was Codwell.
Right.
Yeah, I struggled with that one, y'all.
Yeah.
Look, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I know I've been seeing you around. I believe the first time I saw you out somewhere, and I still didn't, we didn't link in. I didn't know who you were at that moment. It was at the mayor's, what was it?
The inauguration. Yep,
and then Donovan at Vernon's.
Afterwards.
Yes, afterwards. Yep. So, yes, I didn't even know, because your husband and I were speaking. We were talking, cool, laid back, chill. And then all of a sudden when Mitch had called, and then I saw you guys at Midway Day, that's when I put him, I was like, oh my God.
Yes.
Boom. So I had to put two and two together. But yes, I wanted to thank you for coming on.
Yeah, I thank you for having me. I mean, at this point, I am going to do all media because we know that most of our media in this country is being controlled by one narrative. Mm-hmm. They are buying up local markets, like with Nexstar and all those folks. And so as many people who can keep sharing a voice of truth out there as possible, we need to make sure we're supporting them.
Yes, yes. And also with the whole election, what are some of the things that you've learned about? Is this your first time ever running for any opposition?
It's my first time ever running, but I've worked on too many campaigns to think about, but I also worked within politics. And so I think one of the things that folks didn't tell me was that I'm a therapist. Like as much as people want you to lead, you're going to have to filter a lot of things and sit with a lot of stuff and actually be someone that they want to talk to. And you need to be deep listening, and taking notes in real time. And so that's the thing that no one told me. So there's a lot of emotional labor that goes into running for office.
Yes. And I can understand that because when people, when they find out that you're running for any type of position, the one thing they want to know is, why is this and why is that? And it might not even be the position that you're running. It might not even have anything to do with what you got going on.
Yeah.
But that's what you take on when you go for positions like this. Even when you're a person of the community, people expect you to know.
They do.
It's like, hey, so, you tell me about that. You say you running for election, right? Right. So you tell me why property taxes is so high, and what you gonna do?
What you gonna do about it? Always.
I don't handle property taxes. See, y'all don't nobody do nothing. That's what I'm talking about.
I think my favorite is though when people say I want better schools, but I don't want you to raise my taxes, and I'm all
that's not how that works.
I don't know how we're gonna help you on this one.
That's not how that works, folks. Yes, you have to have money to do things.
Yeah.
And one thing about that, when we get to money, it takes, what does it say? It takes coal to run a train, but gold to run a campaign.
Yes, sir.
All day.
Yeah.
So with that, have you been taking the grassroots approach, just out there meeting people, and how have those interactions been?
Yeah, I've been definitely taking the grassroots approach. You don't really have a choice. There are 11 million of us running for office right now.
There is.
And so, the money is tight. And so the folks, the 200 plus folks who have donated to me from $5 to $1,000, that was huge, and it was a lot of work, and it was because they believed in my campaign early, because we started in August. And so, I'm proud to say that most of my donations come from this area. And so that makes me really, really positive that folks are excited about me running for office.
Yes.
And they want me to run for office, right? And so, the dollars are a sign of where your dollars come from.
Yeah.
Who's donating is a sign of like hope, but also that people believe that you're the better candidate.
Yes. So with this, so we could get to know Miss Hallwell a little, well, Mrs. Hallwell a little bit better. Your background, as far as where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Savannah is my chosen home, but I'm originally from California,
Okay.
a little dirt town called Palm Springs. And I was raised there, and I, born and raised. There wasn't a lot of black people in California, so we were very much a tight-knit community. Lived in a majority black neighborhood, because when my parents got to California, black people weren't allowed to own homes. And so, my mom and certain cousins in my families lived on Indian reservations. Folks weren't allowed to purchase their homes, so they were renting their homes. And we were, once they got rid of the Indian reservation, we were moved to another part of the community called the North End. And at the time, originally back then, that was where Jewish people lived. And now they've moved all the black folks there. And the North End of Palm Springs is still there, still mostly black. And it's a beautiful community. It has its own civil rights leaders. It has its own, movers and shakers of the community. But from there, I realized quickly, like, I want to see the world.
Yes.
I want to be around black people. A lot of my childhood grew up saying, "Oh, you're pretty for a black girl. Oh, didn't know you were smart. Oh, you're so well spoken." And I just wanted more of a cultural experience, and so I ended up going to Berkeley.
Now, I'm gonna touch on that. Listen, folks, kings and queens, understand this. There are parts of the world, right, that you can go to even right now, that there will be a whole population of, let's just say, Caucasian folks, right? And they have never seen a black person in real life. And y'all don't believe me. You don't understand that in real life, some people have never seen a person of dark complexion, ever. And the only representation they have of you is on TV. So you got to understand, people have this concept, oh, well, they start perceiving you from what they see on a television box. So yes, that's why diversity means a lot. Yeah. Having a diverse community, because you get to see things, because I remember being from here. Yeah. And since we're a military base, the most people I grew up with was just black and white. That was it. Black and white. The military base came, and then it was black, white, and I would say Hispanics. Yeah. And then Asians. Yeah. And then Samoans. It was the Samoans, man, look, hey.
They did a lot of
love to my Samoan brothers. All of you, Junior, Tito, all of you guys. I love that whole family. Thank you. I appreciate you. Jarvis, Jasper. I appreciate you guys. It means a lot growing up with you guys. And Junior, don't forget, I know your real name. It's Sue Sue. And we all know what Sue Sue means, okay? But having that diversity, it really showed me a lot about different cultures. Yeah. And from you being there in California in Palm Springs, right? You said, was it any diversity besides black and white?
No, there was a large Mexican population.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's Southern California. It's only 3 hours away from the Mexico border.
Yes.
And so you had a large Mexican population, and then you had us, and there was issues between the two races at times, and we had some race riots at high school, and
we had those too.
Right. See,
yes.
Yeah. But I also think hindsight is great, because looking back at it, it was like, y'all let us fight for the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. That's
we were fighting to be the top of the bottom.
Yeah. It's weird. we had the same type of race war, but at that time it was mainly just black and white, right? And after that, it was like we had to walk in straight lines. I remember about this because they didn't even let us go back to school for about a week. They wanted everything to calm down.
Yeah.
And now I see some of those guys because we all grew up together, and I mean we're good friends. You know what I mean? But back then the mentality was way different.
Yeah,
it was way different. So as far as growth as a person, it means a lot when you grow in that area.
It does mean a lot. You know, everybody's lived experience is real. It doesn't really, impact where you're coming. It doesn't impact you as a person unless you take those lessons and make them better.
Yes.
Right. And I love my hometown. They root for me all the time. Mm-hmm. They love my son, even though he was raised here in Savannah.
C-Pope?
Yeah. Yes. That's what he say. His Instagram says Pope.
Pope. Look, that's what it is. Pope, and from the Pope City.
Yeah. And so, but we've had a great experience. I loved it here. It did everything for me that it was supposed to do. And where I was raised and where I went to college helped mold me and get me ready for this moment.
Yes. And now we had a community guest walk in. We're going to ask him to come up to the mic to just introduce himself.
Hey, how's it going? I'm David. How you doing?
Dave is in the building. Look, I call him Pit. You feel me? Like Pit Bull. You feel me? Look, you see it. So, hey, Pit, I want to introduce you to Miss Howell.
Hi.
She's running for CD1.
Nice to meet you.
And she is basically going to represent District 1 of Georgia. Now, we're going to find out some of the areas that she's in. And what things that she does for Georgia and where she's going to help. And so far, she's from, I'm going to see if I get it all right now, from Palms, California.
The low desert.
She grew up there, and it was like a mixture of just black and white and a little bit Hispanic, right? And she used to play with snakes. Now, she didn't say that. That's something I found out. Listen, bro, I had the same reaction. Hold on.
Desert life.
You really don't.
Desert life.
It's a desert life.
Are you military dependent?
No.
And you were just in the Palms?
No.
Oh.
No, my dad was, when he got out of Vietnam War.
Okay.
He went back. He was in 29 Palms. He was a Marine.
Yep. Okay.
He ended up there. My mom left Arkansas. They were looking for, everybody was like, California real good right now. You got to go to California. So she moves to California, and they start building a life together. And that's how that worked. But
so,
yeah.
So when you in California, when she was playing with snakes, we were out there. I had a BB gun, y'all.
I had one.
I used to.
You had the air
hunt.
cartridge?
Yeah. Listen, no, we had the one.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I remember, my mother had told me it was a snake. I'm sorry, I might have hurt one of your people that you like.
I'm not friendly with them. I just you just catch them and you release them and you let them go on their way.
This one didn't get to catch and release. This one had messed with my mom. And at the time, my dad wasn't there, so I was the man in the house. And I was armed with a BB gun. So it was
armed with a BB gun.
Yes, I was armed with a BB gun. It was a black racer. Everybody knows what those are. The black, long black snakes, they fast. So my mother said, Mark, you're not going to hit that snake with that BB.
Yeah.
See, she didn't know.
You were a marksman.
What? What? And see, the bad thing was when a BB goes out sometime at a curve right or at a curve left.
Yeah.
I had figured out my curve accuracy to my BB gun.
Yeah.
I knew exactly how many pumps, everything, dog. So I'm aiming at that snake. Mark, you better not pop.
Yeah.
You saw the snake go. She said, I know that boy ain't hit that snake. Yeah. I was so proud. Bro. I had protected my mother. That was my first manhood situation. I was about 8.
That's the start of being a protector.
Yes. Yeah. You better believe it. Yeah. And now, Miss Howell, before we go on, I want to introduce David Pitbull is also a veteran. And I got to give it up for the vets, because to our veterans, man, it's a lot. And it would be some things we wouldn't have if somebody didn't stand in the fold or stand in the presence of danger. So thank you, David.
Man, I appreciate you, bro.
And how many years, if you don't mind me asking?
2002 to 24.
God, 20.
Yeah. You just
20
got out.
years.
Yes, ma'am. 2
Nice.
years now, retired, thankfully. Love it.
Man, see, and he still look like he's 24. I don't get that, man. Like me,
Listen,
look like I'm in my 50s and I'm only in my 40s.
Listen,
and he around here looking young.
It's the
dog.
dye, man. That's what it is. Keep it a buck with you. I ain't gonna lie about it, you know.
Hey, you said it's the what's the one? Cause Beijing, the Beijing.
Not the Beijing.
I've been looking for it. They got the jet black. Mine ain't so jet black.
You need off black.
Then it'd be discolored in my.
You be looking kind of off.
Yeah.
I got you. I be doing that.
I just try to keep it looking good for the lady. You know, as long as she's happy, I'm okay. I'm doing a good job.
Exactly.
know?
Exactly. Oh, Miss Hallwell.
Yeah. You can call me Amanda.
Amanda. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
please.
Thank you, Amanda. With you moving to Georgia, what got you to Georgia?
My sister, because she was a military wife. She lived in Hinesville. And,
wow.
and she was like, the market had crashed in 2008. And at that time, I was doing a corporate event planning. And, it was very much the signs were like, the economy is about to get real bad. Corporations are going to pay for events. And so
Yes.
she also knew I wanted to get out. I couldn't afford to go back to Oakland.
Okay.
And I just wanted to go someplace with, where I could just kind of spread my wings. We are in a small town, so everybody know you.
Yes.
You can't walk down the street and nobody not know a man to walk down the street today. And I wanted to raise my son on my own as well, to really just see if I could do it and what was that like. And so she convinced me to move in with her. We moved here to be with her. And it was the first time her and I had been together in like 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because she's been on the road. Her husband, she's been gone since she was 18.
Okay.
And so it was really nice to have my sister here, and it was great. And then a year later, she was like, I'm going to go to Korea with my husband.
Yeah. So I'm staying here then, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, I was in Hinesville. My son went to Button Gwinnett. I lived right over there off right in front of the thing. And so, when she left, I was like, okay, I'm just going to go. But like, let me tell you, when I lived here, since you from here, you know this. I lived here. I used to party at Fat Cats.
Wait a minute. Amanda.
I know him.
Oh, wait, Amanda. Wait.
And Revolution. And Revolution a church now.
Wait, Amanda, you been here that long?
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing, Amanda. I'm acting like I should have known you. Like, for real. Like, see, that tells you the country life, and you were here in the city, right?
Yeah.
And see, that's man. But I just crossed over. Maybe I was just in the wrong crowds. So, with you, when she left, she went to Korea. You stayed here.
Yeah.
You raised your son. How old is your son now, if you don't mind?
24.
24. Wow.
Right.
See, there's another one. How are you looking like you're in your 20s? See, this ain't fair.
You gotta
y'all.
stay hydrated.
Now, look, man, I drink. Look,
You gotta
I offered
moisturize.
you water. Like, come on, man, this is wild. Dave, you see this? It's crazy. How do you? So y'all telling me water is the secret?
Yes.
Yeah, and don't take yourself too seriously.
Smile and
now,
laugh.
see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Smile and laugh.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Then.
Yeah.
That's look. I appreciate that information. I'm working on that.
Yeah, you can't let folks stress you out now.
Lord
I'm sorry, I
Jesus.
might have missed it. So how long have you been in politics now?
I've been in politics. I'm gonna say since I was in college, because I've been protesting Clarence Thomas since I was in college. So since I did my first protest in '97.
Okay.
When they were trying to get rid of affirmative action. So we were at college. Go out there. You get tear gassed a little.
It's
But,
it's good for your
It's good.
nostrils.
It's just
Yeah.
yeah.
It built up an
I was
immunity.
stuffy that day anyway.
Yeah, right out.
But and then from there, I've just always volunteered. I've always given back to the community. Here in Georgia, like I started my political career in probably like I got here in 2008, probably in 2010.
Okay.
Immediately, I was working and helping people in local campaigns, working state-run campaigns. My biggest frustration was, we would have people running for governor or statewide, and they wouldn't come to Savannah.
Okay.
Or they wouldn't come out of Atlanta.
Right.
Because they were like, oh, we don't need that vote. Y'all need this vote. Y'all need us to support you. And so really pushing people, like when Jason Carter ran for governor, me and my mentor created a hodgepodge organization called Women Must Vote. And my son played Little League football. And so we would go out to the games and pass out to the moms cards to say, you need to go vote. It's,
Right.
It's a couple thousand people at these games.
Mm-hmm.
And having those conversations with people in real time where they are. And that made a big difference. And people really started to see that, like, oh, my voice matters.
Yeah.
You know, I need to actually stay engaged, at least some way. And if I can't do the big thing or the protests and the marches, at least I could vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And a lot of people don't know it. Right now, voting is going on.
Voting is going on.
Early voting has started, and I believe it will be going up until May 15th. 15th. Mm-hmm. So up until May 15th, you need to go and get your vote on. Go ahead and get your vote on. Yeah. So if you don't know where your voting booth is, guess what? It doesn't matter right now because it's early voting. You can pick one. If you see one that's open, you can stop, go in, get your vote in, and guess what? You don't have to vote later. You can go ahead and get it in.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at who to vote for, understand what you stand for, understand what you like, and understand what you're voting for. Right now, we're meeting with Miss Amanda Hollowell, and she's running for CD1. She is from California, and she has moved down here by the way of family, and she has found Hinesville as home. And she wants to make a difference. She wants to make a difference in the way that she sees that she can make an impact. Just like she's made an impact on her son's life that is 24 now, doing his own thing. And was raised majority here in Hinesville, Georgia?
Well, we got to stay here a year, and then we did the rest in Savannah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's right down. That's the Pope, homie.
Yeah.
Yeah. See Pope. So yes, we're very happy to have you, and we thank you for stopping in. Guys, don't forget StizoCollection.com. The StizoCollecton.com. And yours truly, the People's Champ. Go to yourhomechamp.com for all of your buying and selling needs. The champ is here. And Gray Wolf Trucking LLC. Y'all know King Azoria will take it where you want it to be. All day, every day. Now, hold on. David, Pitbull, you got anything you want to shout out, Bubba?
I don't.
Okay, bet. Hey, he shouts out to all the vets out there. That's the shout out. Bow. So we're gonna go on into the next part of the program, which is once again CD1, Miss Holloway.
Hello.
Well, Amanda. Excuse me, Mrs. I have to get the Mrs. Holloway.
Yeah.
Mrs. I'm sorry. Apologies to Mr. Holloway. It is Mrs. Holloway. Y'all get that correct. Also, speaking of that, you're married, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're not married.
Okay.
We are long-term partners. We're going to get married.
I got you.
I messed it up because I said, I'm going to run for Congress.
Let's find out where this go first. But anyways.
I was either getting married or running for office.
Look, I
moved first. He was moving too slow.
Look. It is what it is.
Right.
It is what it is. He's there.
He's my rock, though.
And you can tell that he's there. The first time I met him, he was we were at the same function and we just started talking. Yeah. And we really kind of hit it off. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was like, dang, man, you cool, you laid back. And he wasn't trying to be in the scene and nothing. He was just, yeah, I'm gonna let my baby do her thing. It's kind of like my wife. My wife is she's becoming more and more of a outrovert, but she's an outrovert when she needs to be.
Right, yes. Yeah,
but she's an introvert. And now my outrovert is turning into an introvert. It's weird.
Because it's taxing.
Yeah, it really is. Especially on the task that people want.
Correct.
And speaking of what's taxing, how taxing has it been, because we hit on this earlier, for you to announce that you're running for something and then people ask you questions about things that you have nothing to do with. Can you tell us some of the things that you're planning on looking into?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that bothers me the most about when someone asks you, what can you do? And you tell them the truth, you feel bad because they really want to answer. They really want somebody to help them. And so when folks will complain and say something about, well, we want our schools, I want smaller classrooms. And I'm like, oh, same.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's not going to be in my purview. But I will advocate for it. I will make sure at the federal level it is fully funded. We are not cutting, making sure all Title I schools are funded, making sure we don't cut back our Head Start programs, and making sure those folks who are taking our federal dollars are actually using them. And so that's where I try to explain to folks is like where we are, where I sit in this paradigm of power and politics. There are things that I can hold, we can all control, and there's things that actually we have to work together to do.
Yes.
And, folks will ask me about Medicaid, and they love to nail me like, you don't want to do Medicare for all. Like, we are not going to get good health care in Georgia until we get a Democratic governor. Mm-hmm. If we get a governor that cares about health care. Mm-hmm. And until that happens, then it's always going to be subpar, delivered, patchwork type style health care. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I try to take people on an education journey with me and just really break it down and say, well, this is the thing that you need to do. This is why this is happening. But I do want you to know it can be changed. Okay.
Now, so one of the avenues that you can pursue would be in healthcare?
So right now, our country is the only country you can go bankrupt for your medical bills, which is wild.
Yes.
You will have creditors and all kind of folks coming after you. And so we need to figure out how to bring down those costs immediately. But more than anything, we also have to address all the horrible stuff this administration has done. And, we have to figure out we don't have to figure out, we got to fully fund SNAP and Medicaid. We got to take off those work requirements, because the work requirements on those type of services is just racism. Because that's how they think they're going to keep black folks and brown folks off of services. They make us work. But my father's on Medicaid. He's blind. He's a vet. And my daddy not going back to work. That man is 81 years old. He's...
I don't go back to work now.
Look, from everything, I didn't know that if you're disabled, I don't think it really affects you when you're disabled. But I know it does affect people that are able to work, not the people that have any blindnesses. So yeah, I can see that as being a point of interest for folks.
A few months back, in my travels, I was in a Walmart, and I saw the status thing. I know she probably felt like she's, independent and doing her thing, but it was, a woman with a walker folding clothes because she worked at Walmart. Mm-hmm. And the whole time I was like, I know in her mind she's thinking this is independence. In my mind, I'm thinking this is just not right. Because I know you're not getting paid right. It's Walmart. They're probably underinsuring you. Right? And so you're actually, you're probably just barely making the thing, and you feel fulfilled in life, and I want you to feel that way, but also you could be doing so much more.
Did you talk to her?
I didn't realize. We talked a little bit, and, but her manager was around. I was like,
you didn't want to get her in trouble. Yeah, see, I be wanting to know why people, because some people, I know a lot of older folks, they just work because they don't want to be at the house.
True, but this one, she was younger.
Oh, she was younger and had a walker?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What were you going to say, Dave?
So what would be the fix then?
I mean, the fix is making healthcare more affordable and giving people more options, right? And so we tend to, when we do programming in this country and you get to a certain level, we cut you off immediately, right? And so that we say, well, you hit $40,000. That's it. Take all the services away. Nothing can happen to you. Instead of figuring out how to cover the gap. Because the gap does happen. Yeah. Like, you don't go from poverty to $100,000. Everybody not rags to riches. It's incremental. I'm a person who's experienced that myself. And so, there were times where I was like, I would come up short. And there was no stopgap. Like, it was, I was making hard decisions. And I just think, one, corporate greed. Two, we do not actually use our dollars well at the county level. I can say that full stop. I've been to many different counties throughout this district. And some of them are doing it great. Some of them I'm just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? How are we addressing these issues? Because everyone can address poverty. Everyone can address the working poor. Is will you do it?
You're right.
And that's the conversation I want to start having with people.
I think that's more to what we were talking about earlier. About the people being in those positions and, like you said, not effectively managing the money.
Right.
So what's the fix to that then? Do we further educate them? Do we replace them?
Depends on how bad they mismanaging money. I mean, I will always say advocacy. I'm a big write the letter, show up to county commission, make the noise, pressure them. Put a letter to the editor in your local newspaper calling them out, make them feel uncomfortable, and then on top of that, remind them you're a voter. I voted for this, and if you start messing with me or you start thinking that you can just run government the way you want to run it, I have 20 people behind me, and we'll make sure you don't get reelected.
You say that, but like you mentioned the current administration, and essentially he's showing people that you can do what you want and there's no consequences.
Because we have a punk ass.
Say it with your chest now.
We have weak ass leadership, and so we don't have people who are putting on the hard fight right now. who are leading this country. We can stop this man. There's two things happening at once. We don't have strong leadership to confront what this man is doing, and then we have people who are making way too much money and they're greedy because of what this man is doing.
My thing. So what does that have to do with? Because the federal is one thing. What about changing your own state? So when we're looking at our state leaderships, where do you see the weak links in our state leadership?
I think our state leadership, we weren't Republican. Georgia was not a Republican state for forever. We had a very strong Democratic stronghold on this state and passed some really cool stuff around during that time.
You said Georgia always been a Republican state.
No, it has not.
Yeah, well, when did it stop?
Democratic governor.
Oh, yeah, I know we've had one, but for the longest, I remember it being...
20 years, it'll be.
For a Republican state?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because, you saw, if you're going to start getting the mailers, for the first time in 20 years, we can elect a Democratic governor, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to I do not like to go hard on Georgia. Because what Georgia has done is made more progress than most states.
Yeah.
And I think our challenge is how do we keep supporting that pipeline of leadership and making sure that we have folks in office at all levels that are reflecting what the community needs, but also, voicing our opinion and showing up. I think one of the most impressive things I've ever seen was a county commissioner in Savannah hosted a meeting, and it was in a small room, and maybe 15 people were there, and he brought every single service of the county. So who does the street sweeping, the police, the fire department, and he said, what I'm gonna do is all y'all complaints, here's everybody you gonna talk to. And everybody sat there and they complained. They figured out how to get their light bulbs, their street lights replaced. They changed the street sweeping schedule because when they were doing it, if something was happening in the community and they didn't like it that way. And I was like, that's the smartest thing I've ever seen somebody ever do. Commissioner Bobby Lockett, he did it.
Where at?
In Savannah, Commissioner. I think he's 3, County Commissioner 3, Bobby Lockett. Or he might not be 3, but he did it, and I was like, this is the smartest thing I've ever seen a politician do, was bring all the people who are actually responsible for the thing you want change and let the folks talk directly to them.
Yes. We've had some leaders do that. People don't show up sometimes. Shouts out to Judge McGirt, Anthony Sawyer, Daniel MacArthur Dotson, Ms. Lisa. What a auntie! NAACP shouts out.
Lisa.
Yes. Yeah. Shouts out to everybody that's watching right now. I appreciate you, kings and queens. Don't forget to share the live. Also, you can go on YouTube. I need more followers and subscribers on YouTube. That's Black Kings Free Game. Black Kings Free Game. I just want to thank Mrs. Amanda Holloway and Mr. David Pitbull in the building. Just thank you guys for being with us. Just to update you, we have we've talked about where Ms. Hodwell comes from and how she grew up, and she played with snakes. And I'm gonna keep bringing it home because y'all know I don't like snakes.
Now my brother gonna call me like, why'd you even talk about it?
No.
Yeah, we're looking like a
look. Well, hold on. Did you pick them? You picked them up and everything. See, that's what I'm talking about.
But you gotta understand, desert life, they all around.
Yeah.
See, and that's the point they were making.
Where you from?
I'm a city boy.
You're a city boy.
Yeah, I'm from up north. We ain't got snakes up north.
No, but desert life. If you've ever been into a desert,
that's all you see.
It's wild. Well, it's not like now, not that much, but you could tell the difference between what snake.
Yes.
Poisonous, what snake was nothing, and you.
They say that. They all say that. You know how close you got to be able. Hey, look at the head on that snake right there. I think that was poisonous.
I don't do
and next thing you know, wham!
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm either doing rattlers or not rattling. You see or colors, certain colors or not colors, because you only knew all the breeds of snakes in the area. But we had wild desert tortoises and we had wild cows. And
wait. What is a wild desert tortoise?
Because folks, tortoises that are actually naturally from the desert, not released by a pet store where you go see an animal, these actually in their original habitat. And so you could catch some of those, and you could see.
You caught some of those too?
Yeah.
Look, right? I'm telling you, man, she was the desert veterinarian, dog. It was like, oh my God, that desert tortoise has hurt its leg.
Oh yes.
So now we see where that caring comes from. Y'all see it? She has a childhood of loving.
Yep.
And now you see how she wants to show it approved in her community and make a difference in her community.
But I passed it down to my son, which I hate, and I thought I didn't. So my son, he fishes all the time.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but he'll like, Mom, I'm not going to work today. I'm like, where you going?
There's levels to it now.
Yes.
There's levels to
I was
it.
like, where you going? He was like, I gotta go fishing. And I said, you gotta go fishing? He was like, I gotta go fishing.
You get the itch, you get the itch.
And he has the itch, and then he was upset because he forgot to freeze dry the shrimp
Oh, wow.
because he knew what bait he wanted
type.
for which group. Yeah, for bass or grouper or
It sounds like he needs to make his money fishing.
Yes, I was just about to say
That's what it
that.
sounds like.
I'm telling
Listen,
you.
That's what it sounds like.
that avenue right now is wide open.
I know.
It's not just commercial fishing either. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But just
sports.
trophy fishing.
Yeah, sports.
Yeah,
Trophy fishing.
Yes.
There's this guy, we were at Walmart buying lime, and this guy came by and he was like, oh, don't buy that, do this. And, we were like, oh, you know a lot. And he said, oh, I have a YouTube. He is here locally.
Your
He
son has a
travels
YouTube?
around. No. The man we met when you talk about making it a profession.
Oh, yeah.
And he has like a couple 100,000
Oh, you talking about
followers.
Bass and Bougie? Had to be.
No, was he a white guy or black guy?
Black guy.
No, there's a white guy.
Oh,
here, who does that? And we followed him, and it was crazy. But Bass and Bougie, I've heard of that.
Oh, listen, Bass and Bougie, those are my people. Like, we communicate on social media all the time. That couple is a trip to me, bro. You got to follow them, Bass and Bougie. Y'all follow them on TikTok. Just type in Bass and Bougie because I mean they're a beautiful couple. He's very ashy, and all the time she's talking about his ash. But it shows you how caring and loving she is for her husband.
Yeah.
He's also in law enforcement, and they talk about helping
That's
the
why he's always
community.
ashy.
Yeah, it's exactly why he's always ashy. He said, I could strike a match right here
Oh, no.
and start a fire.
That's how he grips him up, bro.
Yeah, right. Hey,
Stop running.
But yeah, Bass and Bougie, y'all, it's a wonderful, terrific. So yeah, I'm shouting them out.
Yeah. But no, my son had a bearded dragon.
Yeah, that's what.
He had all kind of animals. He had a turtle too.
Okay.
He had a gerbil, and he would bring in wild animals.
Yeah, he had that desert tortoise.
Yeah, right. You're like,
he had
Mom,
one,
look.
he had one he got from the marsh out here and brought it home, and I was like, you don't take that thing back.
Oh, man.
Salmonella.
But he kept it. Did you let him keep it?
For a week.
See, yeah. You that cool mom. You that cool
No,
mom.
that's not happening at the high.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, my mother would. Oh my goodness, I wouldn't even make it to her. Put it down, Mark. Mama, just put it. I will beat you. Yes, ma'am. Mama.
No, because I use it as a bargaining tool.
Really?
So like remember you had that turtle? Yeah. So you can't have that dog.
Mama only had the turtle for a week.
No, listen, I tried to do that to my son. Dad, I think I want this. Get rid of the dog.
Yeah, right.
Get rid of the dog. He was like, no.
Yeah.
You gotta make them make choices.
Yeah.
You gotta make tough choices.
Look at
See,
use the
look,
animals as
She's been
leverage.
preparing for politics.
Yeah, right.
You know it.
Right.
You need to know it.
Right.
Because listen, if you can negotiate with a child, adolescent, or teenager and win, man, you can just about negotiate with anybody.
That's the craziest thing. You're right, man. And see, the thing is, I have 5 girls and a
I'm
wife.
sorry, what?
Yeah.
5 girls.
5 girls and a wife.
Cinco.
And I raised them.
You
Yes,
were
they were here.
you were a heathen as a young man,
Listen,
sir.
you know, didn't I tell you?
Yeah, he's a hellion is what he calls himself.
Yes.
A
Hellion, heathen,
Yeah.
same.
And King Azario knows. King Azario knows it. My brother back there on the 1s and 2s, y'all. Big shots out to King Azario. He comes in and does his thing. And what y'all don't understand, man, it takes a lot of dedication in order to run this program. Even though y'all are looking at us now, you don't know what all it takes. You don't know what the inside of here looks like. You can't see the masterpiece until you come in here. And with the masterpiece, if you don't have no paint, you don't have no picture. And right now, my brother back there, Danny Osorio on the 1s and 2s, is the paint. And you know what? Also, my wife is the paint. And then also my daughter is wanting to take over all y'all spots. Y'all don't even know it. She is the paint too. So I just got to give big shots out to the people that look out for me and help me push this forward. And shouts out to the people that come in like Miss Amanda Harwell to tell us about who she is, what she stands for, and what she wants to see get done. And shouts out to Pitbull for coming in and giving his opinions on things, especially as a vet of our community. These things are very important, especially in what I'm trying to do here as a show.
Yeah.
Because this is about the community. Doesn't matter if I see one thing and you see another. It's about us being able to talk about it.
Yeah.
And that's what I would love to see a lot more of, is us having a conversation, having the tough conversations, and actually coming to a conclusion that is logical and everything makes sense. And we can even do the numbers to make it work. So, but hey, that's where I'm at on it. I mean, any other thing, I feel like this. I feel if we're so set in one way and it's only going to work this one way, then nothing's going to ever get done.
Oh, no, absolutely.
So that's why I feel the way I feel. And I know a lot of other people feel the same way, but a lot of people don't want to say it. And I get that. I understand what type of climate we're in now, and I understand how people's perceptions of how things are. But I understand. I'm an 80s baby.
Yeah.
And I grew up in a whole different era and a different part of the world.
You a latchkey kid?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It was, hey, when you get home, do this. But a lot of times mother was there because she was a teacher. So her hours were the same hours as mine. But I was still also a latchkey kid because my mother, she can go down there to see about her auntie because she used to check on a lot of the people.
Yeah.
And know I could be home, I could do this, didn't have to worry about me. So nowadays, all of that has changed. And I would be remiss if I didn't say that I noticed it, man.
Yeah.
We've been through so many real wars. Like, we've been through 9/11. We've been through the Iraqi Desert Freedom. All of these things we went through. And then you have this big gap, right, of not having anything. So I think a lot of people have just become comfortable. And we get away from having any type of core of really any understanding of anything tough. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at on it.
If I may, so
go ahead.
It's a circle, right? I don't remember where I saw this, heard this, or whatever, right? But it says, hard times make hard men make soft times. Soft times make soft men.
Yes.
Soft men make hard times, and then it just continues on. And that's your point exactly.
Yes.
And
yes,
much like yourself, I'm a 80s baby, 90s kid. When we came up, you couldn't leave the house.
No.
Without an adult. It just wasn't going to happen. If you was going to be outside, there was an adult outside.
Yeah.
We also grew up with truly, stranger danger.
Yeah,
you know
that was
I mean?
a real thing. Don't get in that van.
You seen that van creeping down the block. Yo, who that is?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We were the product of Dare.
But it was,
yeah.
It was also, though, when I don't know about y'all, again, like I said, I'm a city boy. When we saw the car creeping down the block, everybody was removing because you ain't know what was going to happen.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It could be danger.
Yes.
Right.
Always.
And so, much to your point, we ain't had no choice. We had to grow up a lot faster than our kids do.
Yeah. Well,
they grew up in faster and different ways.
Correct.
I'm gonna say,
did.
in accountability, we had to grow up faster.
Correct.
With being accountable for what we were doing.
Correct.
They're not accountable for their actions because there's too many excuses for their actions. Instead of us correcting the child and the impactful way that we used to, we make it, well, the reason they're acting that way is because of this and the reason. And now what you're doing is you don't understand that at this point you're making a softer, weaker individual. Yep. So then that softer, weaker individual is not going to have the insight, the guidance, the critical thinking skills as the ones that had to learn from the accountability of it.
But I don't necessarily agree with that fully. I do think that you should point out the thing that is happening to that person because people need to process their feelings. They need to process their experiences. I think the challenge we run into is people don't challenge folks anymore. We let them be labeled this thing and say that's who they are. We're just gonna let them slide, instead of being like, but yeah, you could be this. You could have like you could have special education or you could have autism, but you should still want to live a full life. You should still want to challenge yourself and be more.
Yes.
I think when you start handicapping people and saying like, no, it's because he's got this, he can't do that. That shorts them of their experience.
Yes, that's what's happening to me. That's what I see more of than trying
people
to
challenging.
Like let me tell you this, and I'm gonna talk about it now. I'm gonna talk about it right now. Has anybody seen Michael, the new Michael Jackson movie?
I want to see it. Is it good?
Yes, it is good, but then it's terrible at the same time.
Oh.
Because now,
Real quick, did they do what they do to every celebrity?
you to every black man?
Yes.
What do you
Yes,
mean?
they did.
They tell the cut rags to demonize them.
They
at the end, yeah.
So I'm gonna hit on it. I don't care
Don't
how y'all
ruin it
feel.
for the people now.
No, I'm not. The part that I'm gonna tell isn't ruining it because they already have demonized that part. I am tired of this. And the only reason this passes so many people's judgment is because of how they've dictated and manipulated the world thus far. And it goes back to harder individuals breed this and the same thing we just got through talking about. Even in the Serena Williams documentary, right? In the Michael Jackson movie, they're going to paint Joe Jackson as like this mean, hellish type individual. And it's distinctively clear that if Joe Jackson wasn't strict, because I believe he tore they behind up. I do. It was just like our growing up. I had tough parents, right? But it pressured and formed them into who they were. The Jackson family would not be who they were if there was no Joe Jackson. And the way that they demonized every individual that was a black character to me, I didn't like that. The men. Because even in the Serena Williams movie, they demonized their father. In this Michael movie, they demonized the father and then every other black man that tried to be involved. And
You mean Quincy?
No, not Quincy. Don King. They demonized Don King.
Oh.
But if you would have saw the interaction, you would see what I mean. Because
Okay.
Don King, he's done bad things. Of course, we know. But in this instance, it wasn't such of a bad thing. It's the way that they painted that picture. And you'll learn a lot about that because they stayed on the family compound. Michael Jackson and his entire family. Joe Jackson was in control of basically everything, the money, everything, right? At no time did you see that these kids lacked for anything. It wasn't that he was hiding money from them. He had it all grouped together and he cared about all of the boys. That was the one thing that I would say as a man, okay, look, he's not seeing that. He doesn't want to break them up. He wants everybody to be successful together. But Michael, Michael was Michael. So I'm not going to go no further before I do exactly what they said. Don't ruin it. So I'm not going to ruin it.
So like you tell way too much.
Yeah, right. But yeah, you get to see that movie, and I'm tired of that part, man. We gotta show some. Well, hey, he was like this, but if he was not like this, those kids wouldn't have ever seen the future. Because if they would have went off with Miss Jackson, which was a very sweet woman, if it would have been her way, those kids wouldn't have made it. They would have done a little here, a little there, and then their life would have been completely different. No lie. And it's evident, and you know this, but they demonized him instead of gave him his props. So that's one part about the Jackson story that I didn't like. And another reason is because I've researched it before this movie even came out. I've been watching Jackson films. I've been listening to Mike talk about his family. I listened to Janet. I listened to when his own family, some of his own siblings were against him during those cases of thing. And see now that they know that Michael was never like that. Now that the truth came out, now they're gonna release the Michael story and all of that. But when this man was screaming that he wasn't doing that, nobody really wanted to hear that. And I think that we don't pay that any attention because sometimes we go in a hive mind thinking it's like, oh no, he did that. We know he did that because people are looking for some type of bad press. People are jealous. And Michael was saving kids. The man was saving kids, bro.
But that goes back to what you said earlier. Any black man or man of color, however you want to put it, right, that's making something of themselves and they're doing it in the limelight.
Yes.
There's always something or something that comes out to try to diminish their accomplishments and destroy them. They did it to Mike.
Yes.
They've done it.
To a lot of people, man.
All of them. And then what happens is, like you said, the movies come out, right? Mm-hmm. And the movies just highlight that piece of it, like the Ray Charles movie.
Yes.
Great movie.
Yes.
Great movie.
Jamie did a good job.
Look how they painted him.
Yes. Yes. Even James Brown.
Well, James Brown was a complicated man now.
Very.
Yeah.
Very.
But see, they specified only his complications and not the good.
Right.
You know the biggest thing was when I started doing a lot of research. The Ike and Tina Turner. Like, I didn't realize that there was so much more information on how that was. I don't believe that Ike was no good man at all, right? When it came to how he treated Tina in some of those cases. But when you look back at who was to the public and who was good to the kids and who was good to, like, that was night and day, man. Ike was giving out money to the kids, helping. He even opened a women's beating shelter. What was it? A beating women's shelter.
Battered women.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Battered women's shelter and all that. And you really got to search for this information.
But I think you can be, it's a yes and, right? Like, you can also do good charitable work and then still be a challenging, physically abusive individual at home.
Like that is a horrible person.
Yeah, like there's not that you don't have to put people in these like one silos because we're human and we're complex and we have all the things. And I'm not gonna claim I know all the background about what you know, but at the end of the day, that she did say, people witnessed it. They said it happened.
Oh yeah.
But you can turn around and write a check to somebody and say, but also here's some clothes for a kid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I see what you're saying on that.
Yeah.
Big shouts out to one of the queens out there, Javetta Dreyer in the building. What's up, cuz? Thank you for watching, queen. I appreciate it. And what you were saying, I get exactly that. It's when the things were happening. Like, people could put timelines when they present it to you, when you don't know. Like I don't know everything in what you know, right? Yeah. But see, I took time. I know a little bit more. Doesn't mean that everything that I learned was true, though. You get what I'm saying? It might have been something that that might have been off, that I might have learned.
Yeah.
So I'm always open to hear more, to do more. What I'm saying is this stuff was going, they were coinciding, and you're getting conflicting stories. And the story they went with, right, because of how we are, you would go with this side than you would go with that side, because that side's already demonized regardless. It's like, no, all I got to do is say is this, and then everybody's going to have that perception. And that happens more than not. Let's take Jonathan Majors. Let's look at that. Jonathan Majors was trying to get away from a situation, right? Jonathan Majors' career was heading so high. The man with Marvel was about... Oh my gosh, bro!
6 of them.
He like ruined the whole franchise.
Now look at that. He didn't ruin it.
He didn't ruin it.
I'm just saying.
No, they ruined it. We ruined it because we rolled with something.
But we also.
I mean, we agreed with it.
Can I talk?
I didn't hear us fighting about it.
About narrative, right?
Yes.
So all the examples you've given have been folks who had a narrative told for them, not by them. And so what you're saying is there are times where people are going to beat you to your narrative, and that's true. Like in politics, I face the same thing. Like folks will tell the narrative. If you don't speak up for yourself and say your story, folks will tell the story for you.
Facts.
Right, and then you got to figure out how to suss it out, how to counter it, how to beat it, so on and so forth. And I think it's always dangerous to think that anything coming out of Hollywood about a black film or a black story is benevolent. It's usually not. It's always going to have a sway or an angle to it because they want y'all to come buy tickets.
Yes.
Of course. At the end of the day, they're going to use people's trauma as entertainment.
And that's my problem, Amanda. Everything from our past is not trauma. And what I would love to see, in something that we didn't learn about in school, is I would love to see them depict Black Wall Street.
We used to have that in the 90s.
Well,
Remember the Love Jones and all those good films?
Well,
and John
see,
Singleton?
that's
They was pushing good black film.
You don't even know how you begin to my point, right? Because almost every episode, Kings and Queens, you know it, and I'm going to say it again just to prove my point. So, it didn't matter if you were in the hood, didn't matter where you stayed, right? Back in the day, when you were at home and you were watching television, you had shows that showed you, no matter what your condition was, you had shows that would show you what you should work towards. You would have a show where there was a wife and a husband with 4 beautiful kids or 5 beautiful kids, and they showed you how to deal with each kid for each situation. Then you had a show that showed individuals living single in the city and all of them going through their life issues. Then you had a show that showed you what college life would be like if you were a minority or a person of color. And you had Different World, you had Living Single, you had The Cosby Show, you had Family Matters. You even had a show that if you were a kid that grew up in a rough situation and you had to end up staying with your uncle and auntie in the West, Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
Now, we don't have any of that. All of that has been replaced with baddies, drama, episodes on how you got to stab somebody in the back in order to get here. Like, I think some of these TV shows, like Lost or Survivors or whatever those things are, they teach people how to plot against one another. So you teach kids
all strategy.
Yeah, it's like, look, this is what you're gonna do. We're gonna form an alliance. And in our alliance, Peter and Paul, we're going to vote him, and him. I'm just saying. You see what I'm saying? We're going to vote him, and him out, and her. And then in the end, we'll just battle it out and be nasty to one another. We have taken it there, and we've agreed with it. And nobody's standing up for that anymore. And
standing against it.
Well, no, standing up against a way. We're not doing anything to say, hey, you know what? This is not so good. We need to put more of the positivity out there. But that's not what sells. But not with us.
But you also have to challenge it. So there was this, where I work now, led a lot of movement around narrative change in Hollywood. And what we spotted after Katrina was this thing called propaganda is what we called it. Mm-hmm. Which essentially, at one point in time in the 80s, well, in the 90s to the 2000s, and even till present 2000, like, late in the teens, you would see only what? You watch what? You watch Cops.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Law enforcement. You would watch them go chase people on immigration. Mm-hmm. Like, you saw just a lot of law enforcement and black people and brown people getting chased down the street, and it was everywhere, right? And even, like, being from California, but here they started doing it, too. They had the helicopter in the sky on a high-speed chase. Mm-hmm. So you was even getting it in your news system. And so what we ran, my organization ran a campaign against that. Mm-hmm. And they were trying to teach folks and get into the writer's room. And the whole thing was to get into the writer's room, to go talk to these folks who are directly writing and casting these shows. Mm-hmm. And to get they got Cops off the air. They got it off there for like 2 years. They started changing how Law and Order told those stories, right? And even like Ice-T and all those folks had to like participate in this change, because what we also found was the majority of the people who were in these writer rooms or these executive producers or these people who greenlight movies, they're not us. Mm-hmm. And so their lens is always going to have the heavier lift, the heavier influence on the things that we receive. Mm-hmm. Because we are not represented in those times where decisions are being made, stories are written, there's no one in there. And so we did this great job of talking directly to writers' rooms and getting in there and in Hollywood and all this other stuff. But then greed happened and Trump happened, they all erased it all back. But at the end of the day, if you don't say nothing or challenge that narrative that you see, folks are going to keep doing it. And I think the challenge now with the baddies and all the other stuff is folks don't know how to challenge that narrative. Like, how do you say you don't have to actually enjoy that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. The voice, right, that would combat that, they have already created the defense system to it. Because when you're showing that all of this is cool, and once again, like you said, the rough into the easy into the soft. So right now, how do you combat it? You can't tell, hey, look, you know what? You look way better with clothes on than you do out here, and y'all would be much better, being friends. No. Who are you to tell me what I can wear? I should be able to do this, and you can't even make suggestions because you will be labeled as a toxic person. And like that is not a narrative that we're creating in these spaces. Is either this agenda or this agenda. It's like, hey, stop talking about people of color in that way. But you can bring a little bit more of this baddies and drama, and if you can do it that way, because that's been going on for a while now.
But they also capitulate to it, right? Like them girls have scripts. Let's please be
exactly.
honest. And
we know this.
They're trying to get a check.
Yes.
The reality is like
it
people
sells.
need the actual. Not even that it sells. It's that folks on the outside watching it don't believe it. And you have to call that out. You have to start saying it more and more and more. Like, y'all know this is a script.
I don't watch any of it.
Or not watch it. Don't participate in it. I don't watch it either.
But our kids do.
No, he does not, sir.
No, I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but mine, no, sir.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just creates more gray matter. That's all it does. It's horrible. But you said you had that organization.
Yeah, Color of Change.
Color of Change. Was your impact just in the Georgia
No,
area?
it's national. So it's a national organization?
No, right. But you said you were in those writing rooms. Did y'all actually make it to Hollywood?
Yeah, they did.
Okay, awesome.
They did. So they made it to Hollywood.
Yeah.
My predecessors before me made it to Hollywood, and the whole thing was called "How Do You Change the Narrative?" Right around the Black experience. And so they got in there. They got a lot of the stuff off air. They got a lot more Black writers in the room. But you can only hold that pressure for so long.
And so that was my next. What's changed from then till now? Because it seems like we're regressing a little bit.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like you said, we used to have the Cosby Show, Martin.
Exactly.
Family. I love Family Matters. I used to do the Urkel for no reason.
Yes.
Talk about it.
Urkel, the lover, baby.
Wait,
When
what?
he turned to Kayvon, was Stefan?
Stefan
Urkel, baby.
Urkel, okay.
Urkel. That was my guy.
Grew up watching them. Love
Yes. Then it left.
Did they leave or did they get grounded?
No. What happened is they changed the channel.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you jump on TBS, you have House of Pain.
Yeah.
The one that comes on right after that, the Miss Pat show.
Yeah.
There's a couple of
Neighbors or whatever that one
the neighborhood with Chad.
Yeah.
Got white folk in it. I'm gonna keep it real.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing
That's
they
a
do,
black
right?
lead.
It is, right? But what they do, especially that channel, because he's on CBS. Or
Yeah.
I ain't name dropping nothing.
Yeah, you good.
Right? You got to have that stale in there, right? And so that's what happened now. How many people got cable TV?
No.
You know what I mean? So they don't know or they don't see these shows.
Yeah, there's options.
Right, unless they're looking for it. So that's why I asked the question, because, like you said, now you got, what's them women?
The Real
Housewives.
Oh,
Terrible.
all of them horrible shows.
Terrible.
But no.
They all go to prison, which is
The
so
one,
interesting.
Ye's ex-wife.
Oh, that Kardashian. But they
Yeah.
created it.
God.
Right, but you got
They like 30 years in the
you
game.
got crap like that, right?
Yeah.
The Real Housewives.
How did they get there?
I'm gonna keep it even a buck with you. Loving hip hop, I hate all of them because the picture that they're painting of us,
Exactly.
It's horrible.
right? Atrocious.
And then we back it.
And
Never
that's
mind.
it.
No, I ain't. Let me.
Yeah, but we do, and so that's why I asked the question,
We
right?
fit the
Because
narrative.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
We specifically focus on a narrative around policing. Because what we found was, and we still do this work now, was that when you desensitize people into policing, we think it's okay that a cop is walking around with a machine gun pointing guns at young kids. And so we're trying to not, but you know what I mean? Like we're trying to there is an there's been countless audits, and Rodney King don't happen in a vacuum.
my facial expression was I was one of those guys at one point. I'm a combat vet, been downrange, had my weapon, children, all, you know what I mean? So I've been there, and I have a brother-in-law who's a cop. Hey, I love you, little bro. And from my brother, anytime something happens in his area, I'm always message, hey, just let me know you're okay, right?
Yep.
Aside from that, I'm not fan of police, right? I subscribe to the fact that you have law enforcement officials and then you have peace officers.
Yep.
They're two different entities.
They are.
Yes.
Right? Few years back on the internet, we all seen it, the white officer who got called to the little boys playing basketball. One of the neighbors, and everybody thought he was going to hem him up. He started shooting with him.
But we need more of those.
Exactly.
That's a peace officer right
Correct.
there. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And there are, but they're not highlighted. That's the thing. But go ahead.
Not only are they not
They're also
highlighted,
not funded.
they're far few and in between.
Yes.
Correct.
You know
it's
what I
not
mean?
encouraged.
Right. Because what's more encouraged? You taking a couple kids on the corner to jail.
Because there's money in jail.
Right. They have no record. They're straight A students, but you saw one had a purple bandana, and you automatically
You look
gang
like
affiliation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which we all know is a load of crap.
It's Frank's Law.
So.
Yeah, but that was how our work, it showed up in policing, because you couldn't talk to prosecutors or progressive prosecutors. You couldn't have juries, because what we learned quickly was everybody was taking this in that, like, this is right. This is how you police communities, because we've seen it on television. We keep socializing it, and that's what we were saying. We're saying that's not how you police communities. You're supposed to provide safety.
Yes.
And alternatives before we get to violence. Alternatives before you show up with your guns blazing, right? And then, but how can you explain that to people who think, no, that's right? I've seen it. This is what I'm used to. And that's, but no. So what we were trying to do was teaching prosecutors how to think about diversion programs, lessening sentences. Like, we did do the advocacy around lessening sentences on crack cocaine, because we all found out in 2000 and a few years ago that cocaine got less sentencing than crack. Right, and so we were leading. We helped, not lead, but we were part of that coalition. So you have to take each fight that you know that's creating a systemic ill in the society and go for it. But if you can pinpoint the one that's like really permeating, I think you can create that change. And we were doing that. The problem was that them progressive prosecutors were getting fired. They were getting recalled. So now you got to build it all over again.
I got a question. To that, because I'm here. I'm like in the middle on that so much, because, man, look, we are lax. I get it. You can look at an area and say, well, that area is over policed or something like that. I can see that happening. My issue is, if we ourselves can change the narrative. This is my big issue, is we have things going on in our own neighborhoods all the time. The only time they make noise is if it's something racial. And I'm sick of that. I get it. If something bad happened, it happened. But what about the thing that's happening in your community right now? Why is it we can't say anything about it to stop that? And then, like, I remember a problem one of my friends in Chicago would have. He said he had a friend. He was going to the store. Matter of fact, he went to go get some Rillos, right? His homeboy went to the store. On the way to the store, old buddy had tried to rob him, got him in the leg, boom, took his stuff, all right? So, police officers come. He knows who the dude is. Police officers lock him up, and he's back on the street 3 days later because of the standards. And then he said he was able to pay like $100 bail, and now he has to see the guy that robs him on the street still robbing people. So I think what ends up happening is we can do good to a point to where we also doing bad, because we're actually putting people back in fear. We got to understand, yes, there might be an over-policing problem, but that doesn't mean that the kid is going to learn anything by being put back on the street and not learning nothing. He's going to go recommit the same crime again. That's dangerous. And we're not changing the population. The way that we make change is we don't tolerate the foolishness within those communities. We start forming more of a family. Stop worrying about the police, because we wouldn't have to worry about the police if we had respect and we had guidelines in our community. And the reason I can tell you this is because right now you have other communities within our communities now, right? Like you have some places like in the Jewish community, right? The crime in a Jewish known community, which isn't supposed to happen, right? But you just mainly have Jews there. They police themselves and their culture. They would never allow all of that crime to happen in that area. They're not going to stop it. So you're not going to tell me that we can't do the same thing. The thing is, we put handcuffs on ourselves because people will come here and they will somewhat assimilate, but they're not going to assimilate to their culture to say, oh no, we're going to do something about that. You can't tell me how to talk to my child. You can't tell me how to direct my child. We're not listening to that. We'll separate our family culture away from the laws that you have. So we can't say that it's just the police. We have to do our part too. We have to actually start being family. We have to start making communities to where our kids can feel safe and that the thugs aren't the ones that are inspiring them. The role models can't be the ones that are out there doing bad and don't know how to do good.
I mean, yeah.
So
I think it's a bunch of things, but I agree with you. There does need to be a community responsibility moment happening. Yes, I agree with you on that.
That changes their whole narrative.
But
they have nothing to say.
Socioeconomic dynamic that we have to also acknowledge, right? Like folks rob each other because there's no money in that community, right? And so, like, what are we doing to prepare these folks to be better people?
Exactly.
And what are the opportunities that we're providing? And like, it starts, and that's where I'm like, if you start keep giving people a wall, that wall is going to turn into them going, I'm just going to go get a gun.
I don't believe it's a wall there. I know what you're talking about, but that wall. So name the one thing that you can't do right now in life. Seriously, as a black woman, you grew up in California, tell me what it is that you can't accomplish in life right now because somebody's going to prevent you from doing it. Even in the worst hood in America, you have the ability, you have the options. The thing is, you're so gatekeeped by what's been working for your family for so long. They don't teach you no other way. They don't try to teach you financial literacy. They don't try to get you out of that position to learn. Well, see, that's the problem.
They don't know themselves. They're short too.
Right. That's the bigger issue is they don't know, right? And so I see what you're saying and I get what you're saying, but unfortunately that goes back generations and it's out of our will, right? And all we can do right now is prepare our follow-on generation for all the things we didn't have, right? And so do you have a plan in place for the children? But not just the children, right? Those kids, right? Like we talked about, the kid that got arrested but had no record was a straight A student. Now they got a criminal charge. But
I know, and they're done.
Is there?
There's so many programs. I talked because you guys got some folks who are advocating for another jail out here in Liberty County, and I was like, or you could actually create a diversion program for the youth. Or figure out and address recidivism, because y'all have a really bad problem with recidivism, which is you get people going in and out of jail, So we have to find the root cause of why people just keep going in and out of jail. Some people go to jail because they just need a place to stay.
I know someone personal.
We all know people like that. We all know people like that.
Right. So like that is a heavy lift for a community or for a community center or a rec center. It has to be everybody, and you have to get folks who have the money to invest in it, right? And like some people start nonprofits. Love that. But we can't nonprofit our way out of crime.
Right.
Right? Like we also have to talk about what are the issues in these communities that are creating higher crime or people deciding that this is the thing that I'm gonna do to move my life forward. And just like how you said, I had an opportunity, we all have opportunities to decide and build our will. I just decided I wanted to go that way. There's somebody who looks just like me somewhere across this country who's deciding I want to do that. And that is crime.
Exactly. And exactly. Man, if y'all only knew, kings and queens, how simple it is to correct a lot of these things. It takes your personal know-how, your personal, what would you say, ability you got to stand up for something. I'll put it that way. If you're not going to try and fill the gap, if you're waiting for somebody else to do it, then it's not going to get done. If you're afraid to do it, it's not going to get done. Now, if you reach out to your public officials, right, and you have a very logical idea and you don't feel it's being heard, I dare you to tell me about it. I dare you to tell me about it, because the things that need to be done, they can be backed up. We can find the money. If we can find the money to bury kids that didn't have insurance policies, and all of a sudden we can raise $50,000, right? We have over 30,000 people in Liberty County. If we want an initiative done and there's small things that need to be done, we can actually do it. The thing is, are you going to actually do it, or are you going to sit back and judge somebody else's idea just because you had I thought of something like that, but that ain't the way I would have did it. I'm not giving them no money towards that.
People don't move on stuff because of fear of failure.
Well,
I mean, you'll never learn if you don't fail.
Exactly. And we've taught people to remain in failure also. You got kids that they don't even know that there's something outside of Hinesville. Yep. Do you know there's people in Savannah that's never been off their block?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous to me. You mean to tell me that you've lived in, and this is just an example.
That person is across the country.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We're shrinking their eyesight instead of expanding it because of what we lived. We're still downtrodden ourselves of what you're taught or what people tell you, that there's going to be a wall there. You might as well not even try. But if you're telling me that our ancestors, if you're telling me that Dr. Martin Luther King, if you're telling me that Malcolm X, you're telling me that all of these leaders, they had it way worse. Do you understand me? They had it worse, but yes, they produced some of the most outputting people. If you're telling me they had it worse, but they put out some of the best teachers, some of the best leaders, if they put them out when we were at our worst, what are you doing?
They had to, though.
Well, that's the thing.
I mean, it was important.
We had to. We had to.
We had to because there was a
priority.
Right.
So
we had to make a point.
We got entitled.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Our kid. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Our kids now don't know it.
Exactly.
They didn't really truly had to experience it and endure.
They were just told.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
For them, it's all hearsay.
Yes.
You know, so for them, they're just like, all right, cool, dad, whatever. You know what I mean?
But you got to explain to them, though. Like, I explain to my son all the time, Ruby Bridges is still alive. She has a TikTok or Instagram. And, like, people don't connect that these folks, this isn't far, this isn't distant.
It's not.
And I saw this TikTok. It was so good. It was a young white kid. His hair was all crazy. And he said, y'all calling us soft? You calling me soft? 50 years ago, y'all was crying about drinking out of the same water fountain as a black person.
Look, real talk. And y'all, we got about 10 minutes left. I know we done overshot. I apologize.
You're fine.
But I'm not gonna lie. I'm enjoying this conversation with you guys. It's a really good conversation. Now here soon, everybody double tap. We appreciate you. Let me shout everybody out real quick. I'm gonna shout out Judge McGirt, Jocelyn, Teron Bush, Javetta Dreyer, Mitchell Boston, Sandy Hill, Antonita Hayward Mosley. What's up, baby? And every other king and queen out there, you guys don't forget Grey Wolf Trucking LLC, also SteezoCollection.com, and yours truly, the People's Champ. I want you to go to yourhomechamp.com and you can meet Little Me. That's right, little AI me is sitting right there in the corner. You can ask any question you want, connect up with me, and I can help you buy or sell your home. Now, to bring y'all back up to speed, we have had a very, very delightful conversation here with Miss Amanda Hardwell, that's running for CD1, that's Congressional District 1. Yeah. And we went from her childhood all the way to how she got to Liberty County, up into how she raised this terrific son that is now a man after my own heart because he's fishing and he loves it. We've also talked to Pitbull has been in the building. David has been in the building. He is a 20-year vet, and he is now 2 years retired. And he is giving his input, especially with somebody that he is battle tested, you guys. He actually he was in the military. He was on the line. He's been there, done that. So when you have this wonderful group of people, you don't get anything but information. You get ideas, you get opinions, and you get to listen to see from their perspective. And when you're able to do that, you can accomplish more, especially when there's no hate, there's no intent of hate. It's an intent for listening and understanding. Yeah. That's all we're doing is listening to each other. And I don't think enough of that is being done because we block out anything that's not towards our narrative. We have to get away from that. Right now, we've talked about how she has been in an organization that was in filming to where they were going after like shows that were putting us at a disenfranchise with the show Cops and all of these shows showing us in, very vulnerable positions, and it's always that. So she's worked on projects like that, and she's worked on a lot of campaigns, and now she's here to campaign for CD1. What we're gonna start wrapping it up in a minute, but it's still another thing that I do want to talk about. And that is when we were just talking about how to get this done, because before we end, I want to come up with a solution that I think that all of us would more agree.
Pitbull's got the solution.
No, we're all gonna look. I feel this way, and this is my thought. I think that the solution lies within our own community. I think the solution lies within the parents. And if we stop telling them that this is your problem and just start showing them how to get to their objective that they want to accomplish, and stop looking so much at all the problems that's going to come and just face the problems when they come one by one, instead of placing that objective in front of them, I think our kids would go further. I don't think that there's a baseline of you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it in the areas that we need them to know that they can do it. I think there's a baseline of, you ain't gonna be able to do that because then you got to deal with this, or you can't do that. We set too many walls and not enough paths.
I like that.
So I think that would be our overall solution, is to work within ourselves, forget the big wigs, forget the corporations, because there's no way you can explain to me how they did it then, and we have more resources and more tools, and we can't do it now. That is absolutely ridiculous. I don't think that's actually it, because the stories that I heard here in Liberty County, you would be mind boggled. Do you know that there was a mill here, and they would give the men in the community half their paycheck would be in chits. Now chits was just this little wooden penny, wooden nickel with a stamp on it for the shop where the store, right? And then the rest of their check, maybe 20% of their check was in actual cash, right? So you mean to tell me that these folks knew how to save money, knew how to send their kids to school, right? They knew how to educate their kids about what's going on and what's happening in the world. And right now, we get at least 70, 80% of our check besides the taxes they take out. And we don't have the financial literacy. I know that I messed up with my money plenty of times, especially when I was young. I know I did, but I didn't know any other way because I was too busy trying to chase after that enjoyment, that dopamine hit of me being a part of the excitement and fun. And our older generation, they weren't searching for that excitement and fun. They didn't have that in front of their face. They knew that their priorities and their accountability was their family. We've gotten so far away from being accountable for a family now. especially in a lot of family units. We don't even see family no more. We see, oh, it don't matter. You don't really need a family because you can do it by yourself. That's not how it was designed. I don't care how many times they try to paint a mother and a father as a nuclear family. Oh, that's racist. I don't care nothing about how you try to paint that. I know that it works. I know that you can't create a baby by yourself. So if you can't create it by yourself as a human, I would think that the best ecosystem for a child is both. And we need to preach that. No, I'm not saying that, oh, if this guy is knocking your head off, you don't need to be with him. He's a bad person. But we can't have this microwave generation of, oh, well, this don't suit me. I don't like that. I'm gone. And you'll never. We got to stop, man. Family is best. No lie. It is best, man. So we need to do better by each other. We need to do better by each other. We need to love one another and bring back the times that Amanda was about to get to when she was talking about music. Because we did used to sing. You don't even hear R&B no more. Let me explain something to you. Back in the day, brothers used to write letters and women used to write letters the moment at school. The song playing, you're my baby. Location. All of that used to go into a love letter.
Yeah, but we were also in leather suits in the sand singing about I Will Cry For You.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
We're a little wild with our love.
but guess what? Look at what it produced.
But that was the time where you could open the cassette up.
Yeah.
You had the track list, but oh wait, it also had the lyrics to one of the songs.
So
and
you
I'd be
can
like,
read it.
oh, I'm about to
Right. What?
I'm copying this.
I'm copying this down.
I was thinking about you.
Yes.
I heard this song.
That took effort. That built real relationships. I'm serious. That built real relationships, guys. Nowadays, all you do is this. Oh, I don't like that. No, ain't none of that. Oh, she cute. He cute. You know what I'm saying? That's how they do it now. It's a microwave generation. Everything's too much access. You don't even have any curiosity about it anymore.
But they're starting to reject it themselves.
Well, they're starting to reject it slowly because I think at this point it might be forced rejection. Because if you don't do it, you're starting to realize, oh, well, hold on, man. I think I'm getting burnt out. I don't have exactly. And I'm telling you, the dynamics have switched, people. It used to be men. If you knew the mentality of young men right now, you guys would probably be scared. Because young men minding on taking care of, no family, no woman no more, because they feel like they're going to get used and abused. And that's not nowhere where you want to be in society. You don't want to feel like you're a man and there's nothing for you to look forward to, because then it's just going to stop. That means damsel in distress doesn't matter to men no more. That means when they see women on the side of the road, they're not associating them as I need to help her. They're just going to associate them with as another person. There needs to be a difference. There needs to be a difference. I don't think that I should think of a woman like I should think of a man, man. I don't believe that. I don't believe that, because I know even myself. Shoot, I know I'm way bigger and way stronger than my wife. If I do something to my wife, somebody better come and get me. I need to go. Seriously. I don't think that it should be no way that I should be able to do that to her and she's seen as equal. Nah, bro. Nah, I'm built different. So we need to bring those standards of love back so we don't get too far away from loving what we were founded on, and which is family. So I'm gonna shut up. But look, I'm gonna start off, we end with a motivational. So if there's anything you would want to tell the people, even about your race, anything you want to say to them, to all the kings and queens out there, I'm going to leave it to you, Miss Howell, to go first, and then we're going to go to you next, David, okay? Look, wait, you want to go? You want to go? Okay.
No, I'll go. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm visiting.
Yeah, and Miss Howell, thank you so much. And I'm going to say it again before we go off, but go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you. So I think there's two things that I want folks to think about. One is hope. It's not dangerous to hope anymore.
Yeah.
And I think when you're in a place where we are in this big, I don't want to say paradigm shift, but a a point where we're having a big reckoning with ourselves about how we want to be seen as a country and how we want to move. I think don't waste it.
Yes.
This is when you actually have some of the most creativity and some of the most bright ideas of how to move this country forward happen. But if you aren't like supporting those folks who want to do that type of hard work and lift, and you settling with the status quo and people telling you, oh, you can't do this, or just like how you said, you can't do this, or those people aren't going to vote for you, blah, 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 then we're always going to be failures.
Yes. Yes.
I know how hard my race is and what it looks like, but I also know I talk to people about money and their well-being, and everybody's hurting. This administration shows up at everyone's door in some different way, and so we need to put somebody in office that wants to put people first and solutions first and get us to a better way. And address a lot of those ills. Like though you were talking about them, those are ills. Those are societal ills that we need to address at every level of government to figure out how are we providing and creating a better future for our children.
Yes.
And you got to have folks who want to do that. And I'm that candidate. You guys can find me at amandaforgeorgia.com. It's Amanda, the number 4, GA is my Instagram and my Facebook. And then you could just Google me, Amanda Hollowell. If you want to see some of my work, if you go to colorofchange.org, that is my online racial justice organization that I work for. I'm the chief of campaigns there. We have many great campaigns. We just got Keith Porter's name released. He was murdered by one of the an ICE agent who was off in LA. We had a press conference. We finally got the man who murdered him, that name released. Sonny Dots, we just stopped the murder and execution. We helped get 20,000 signatures to slow down somebody's murder and execution. And so we're doing great work, and it's very community based. It's not just national based, and we want to bring as many people in that fight. And if they have a petition, if they have something that's an ill in their community that they want to fight, we will support them. We'll organize it with them. We'll give them the tools. And so that's all I just want to say.
Well, somebody wanted to say something to you. Amanda Marie wanted to say, "Hey, girl, hey!
Oh my God,
so proud of you, sis." My wife put it in there, amandaforgeorgia.com. It is in the chat. If you guys want to check her out, go ahead and click that link right there under Antoinita. It's amandaforgeorgia.com. Click that link to find out more. You have a lot of support in here, Amanda. Your people are showing up. Yes, it's showing up. Job Judah. Oh, what's up, Bubba? What's up, Israel? So, right now we're going to get from Pitbull his words of wisdom for y'all to get through this week or this month. And another shout out to Amanda Howell running for CD1. And we just want to thank her so much for coming and sharing today, getting the insight of who you are. I see the more and more we got an interview, you kind of felt me out. And it was like, hold on, this joker might, okay, we can talk. Cool, he's all right. All right, cool. I get it.
You were heavy on the snake.
Look, I was really heavy on the snake. Y'all know I don't like snakes like that. But David, what would you like to tell the kings and queens today, brother?
Hey, life is hard. It's gonna punch you. It's gonna kick you. But it ain't a matter of how many times you stay down. It ain't a matter how many times you get knocked down. It's a matter of how many times you get up. All right. Keep that in the back of your head and smile.
Smile. All day. All day. Kings and queens, it's your boy. You know how I do it. Look, to sum it all up, like you said, you don't get knocked down. You got to get back up. And Amanda says, you got to find a way, but we got to make a way too. And the more and more we got into the conversation, I could see all those light bulbs of pathways. Pathways started like, we do need to do a pathway. It needs to be a better pathway to lock in for these people to accomplish these things. Let's don't put the walls up before we even get to a wall, because the wall might not even be there. Kings and queens, keep pushing forward. Don't create a wall for your kids, a wall that you never approached and you just heard of. Keep pushing forward. I knew that there weren't too many walls when in Liberty County, you had a young lady that had the most scholarships out of anyone in the country, over $11 million in scholarships.
It's amazing.
Kudos.
So, if that's possible right here in Liberty County, what else is possible? We need to start making the possibilities, and we need to make them happen now. It's your boy, King Conda, the People's Champ, with David Pitbull, Miss Amanda Hallwell for CD1, and King Azario on the ones and twos, and my wife working the chat. It's Black Kings Free Game, and we're right.